Hi everyone and welcome to Hopecore Tarot. Today I am going to share with you my decks and we are gonna go over them because these are the tools we are gonna be using here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you get a lot of insight from the readings in the future. So the first one I have is this Siren Tarot I got when I was living in Japan. I really like this tarot deck. I have to admit I chose it because from the very little selection they have on the store where I went to, it was the nicest one. But I do have to admit I've been wanting a different one for a while because our siren friends right here are sometimes a little too nice. I feel they don't like to go that deep into things sometimes, but they're actually really nice. They're not mean at all, and I actually really love that about them because sometimes you don't need a kick in the butt, you know what I mean. This deck is completely ocean based. I'm gonna show you some of the cards. So here we have the wands, they have a seahorse, and they also have a little help here for beginners like me to know what the meaning of the card might be. Then we have the pentacles. The pentacles have a turtle which I love because I feel turtles are so chill and so like earth-based, even though, you know, they're mainly aquatic animals. These are sea turtles, but you know, they lay their eggs on the beach and all the stuff. So I feel they're a slow, really grounded energy. Then we have the swords. The swords are sharks because how could they not be? You know how sharks have this skin that kind of cuts a little bit? So I think it's just like really direct cutting energy. Then we have the caps. Well, this one is a little broken already from use, but these are the caps. The caps are dolphins, and I love that because I feel dolphins are considered to be so intelligent and also having emotional intelligence, so I think they're just a great choice for the caps. They can be mean sometimes, you know, but who can't? And then the major arcana, they are all mermen and mermaids. I feel this is such a calming deck with blue and green colors, and I think it's great. I think it's a really nice and gentle energy deck. Also, I love the Fool because he's literally just jumping forward into the water from a cliff. I think it's wonderful imagery. And I also love how he's accompanied by a dolphin here, and he's a merman jumping into the water, so you know it's where he's supposed to go to, it's where he's supposed to be. I just think this is such a nice and positive deck. Okay, the next one I am going to be using is this Moonology deck. From all my decks, this is my least favorite deck, but hold on your reins, I'm gonna tell you why and why we're still gonna use it. So I learned a lesson with this deck. I bought this deck exclusively because it was pretty, and you know, it's not that this is a bad way of choosing decks, but I really think I got it for superficial reasons, and that's why it doesn't really resonate for me in my personal readings that I do for myself. However, it does help people in real life that I have on readings for, so I think it's just kind of punishing me a little for being superficial, to be honest. But I think this is such a beautiful deck. It is really pretty. I can't say it isn't, and it might have a little grudge against me, but I still think it's awesome, and I think it's just gonna help you guys also. I think it's just against me, you know. And I just love the colors and the art. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous, and I like that it has a little summary here so I don't have to memorize all of the booklet all at once, but just look at this. Absolutely beautiful colors. And I love that the box is really good quality, and inside it says let the moon be your guide. Top 10 packaging, you know what I mean. Okay, this is the latest one I got. It is Dante's Inferno. I was drawn to this, so it has actually helped me for the readings I do for myself. I use this for shadow work and exploring trauma, and I just think it does a great job at that. It looks like this. Obviously here is Dante, and then the art is actually, it's not very hopecore, and it does not line that well with the channel theme and the positive readings I want to do. But I think working on traumas or doing shadow work is just so important for us to turn turn ourselves towards the light and a more positive existence. So yeah, it is a little more hardcore, but I really think it's gonna help us. And honestly, the art is actually really cool. Look at that. Amazing. I'm gonna show you some more. Okay, those are kind of gory. Let me find one that's a little bit nicer for our first introduction. Okay. Welcome Respite. This is really nice and relaxing. Mythic Mischief Makers. Look at all that fire. This is the newest deck I bought, so I am not super familiar with it yet. I have used it a couple times, but it has like really long descriptions, and you really need to know descriptions, because this, for example, Rebuke Traitor, what does that even mean? You know what you really need to get familiar with this deck. But it's okay, we have the booklet, so we are gonna be using it too. And this one does not have a message inside, which I think is such a waste. It should be a quote from Dante's Inferno here. Then this is not an actual divination deck, but I am going to use it. This is a card game from Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. If you're into Hopecore, I guess you need to watch Frieren. Like, it's a manga, it's an anime, but it's just amazing. It's basically about an elf's journey, learning about her feelings and stuff. I think it's amazing. And this card game has these little cards which are just not, they aren't just beautiful, they have the characters, and I am going to use this to give you readings based on the characters and some kind of trait they have that they may be useful to you or may relate to you. And I think it's just gonna be so much fun, and it's gonna help give a lot of insight, because so much of divination is interpretation, and sometimes I think that having some extra things that are not exactly related to the tarot or oracle decks can be so helpful into helping us create a narrative to give meaning to the readings. So I think this is going to be super useful, and they are so pretty. So this is the main character, Frieren, and you can see the art style is like really nice. So we are going to be using this deck too. I think you guys are gonna love it. I think it's gonna lead us to have very fun readings. And this is all now, because I'm starting the channel and I have wanted a new tarot deck for a long time. I'm going to buy one and we're going to unbox it in the channel. But that is for the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to start the readings and sharing positive, optimistic things. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.